introduce you to our keynote speaker for today, Mayor Karen Bass. Mayor Bass has led the nation's second largest city with unprecedented skill and urgency that has delivered results for all Angelenos. Thousands more unhoused Angelenos have come inside in her first year than ever before, and has led to a reported drop in homelessness for the first time in years. Under the mayor's leadership, LAPD received record numbers of applicants while homicides and violent crime decreased. 100,000 more city services like pothole repair and graffiti removal have been provided expeditiously. Thousands of businesses opened, hundreds of millions of dollars were secured through locking arms with state and federal partners as Los Angeles continues to urgently lead on climate. Mayor Bass is elected to make change for the people of Los Angeles by breaking with the status quo to deliver for the people of Los Angeles. So with no further ado, please welcome Mayor Karen Bass.
Very, very nice. I appreciate that very much. And let me just thank BizFed for the work that you do every day in our city, strengthening our business community. And I do have to give you a special thanks for Rachel Freeman, who I know was on your executive committee for a long time. And we stole her away and made her deputy mayor of our business and economic development department. And she's been doing an incredible job. And she has been the one, along with Randall Winston, the Deputy Mayor for Infrastructure, who's been leading our internal efforts on the response to the wildfires. And it's just hard to believe, I mean, this year has been so, I don't even know what word I would use to describe it, traumatic. That is for sure, obviously for anybody that was impacted by the fires, but it's very rare that I meet someone that doesn't know someone or is not related to someone who experienced the devastating loss. That it's been a little over 100 days, and I feel proud that the recovery has been going on at lightning speed and rebuilding and all of that. But having said that, for the survivors of this trauma, one day feels like an eternity. And I know we'll be getting into that much later when we have the fireside chat. But I do want to say that you know that we are going through tough economic times. We're going through tough economic times, not just in our city, but we're in a situation in our nation of just uncertainty and not knowing exactly what is going to happen from one day to the next, especially with tariffs, and knowing that Los Angeles is home to the nation's largest port, that 40% of the goods that are in our country, and I know everybody here is aware of that, comes through the port of Los Angeles, and what the tariffs could mean for the port and for our city. I was listening to Gene Soroka, our general manager of the port, talk the other day about how essentially we could have a situation where there are no ships from China. And if there are no ships from China, we know we went through the supply chain issues at the end of COVID, but you can imagine what that's going to do to prices and just the scarcity of what is happening. So within the uncertainty of the national context, led to an economic decline that our city has experienced, and then a tripling of liabilities has had a big impact on our budget, where the city of Los Angeles, as I'm sure you well know, is not insured. We are self-insured, and we normally put $100 million aside in our budget every year for lawsuits. And in this fiscal year that we're concluding now, that ends in June, it went from 100 million to 300 million, and that was unexpected. This is a consequence of COVID, where the courts were slow or shut down, but it's also a consequence of juries feeling very generous. This again is not just a phenomena in Los Angeles, this is a national phenomena, which means then we are going to have to budget far more than $100 million in liabilities moving forward. And that's not even considering the legislation that happened on a state level that has hit the county in a major way. And we could anticipate that those types of lawsuits will be coming down the line. We made a strategic investment in our workforce last year, and that is an issue as well in terms of our need to close the deficit, which about a month ago we were anticipating as being $1 billion deficit. We were able to get it down to around 800 million, and then through a variety of cuts and reorganizations and all, we reduced it even further. And so I released my budget on April 20th, consistent with the city charter. I did my State of the City address the next day, and now the council, as we are in this meeting, are having hearings going through the budget proposals in detail, and for the next few weeks, they will do that, and then they will send a balanced budget back to me. I am hoping that we can get some additional support from Sacramento. The reason why I'm hopeful for that is because in, I think maybe it was early February, the governor signed a bill designating $2.3 billion in wildfire relief. But that money actually was not distributed to the cities, and so now both the county and the city are asking for the direct assistance. If that assistance comes, then that will help us in terms of closing the deficit, but we are looking at a structural imbalance, which means we are not talking about just 1 year. We have to plan for year 2 and year 3, and if we think about it, we're 15 months away from the World Cup, and so all of the extra security needs and other needs that we will have to be factored into that. So having said all that, it's not doomsday to me. I believe that we will come out fine. It will be difficult. But you know, to me, when you have a crisis like this, whether you are talking about the crisis from the wildfires or the crisis from the budget, you have to seize what opportunity might exist within those crises. And so, for example, when it comes to the rebuilding effort, we have a one-stop rebuilding shop where all 12 city departments are located in one building, and we are expediting and fast-tracking and waiving fees and doing a variety of other things that could give us a template that when we're past this crisis could be potentially applicable citywide, because everybody, especially everybody in this room, knows how difficult it is to build in our city. And so hopefully there are lessons learned and pilots that we can practice. And then in terms of the budget, I've always wondered about the efficiency. We have over 40 departments, and in the last 10 years, several new departments were created. Is that really needed? Are our departments working at the maximum in terms of efficiency, or is it an opportunity to do some reorganization? And so in my budget, I do propose consolidating several departments, and I imagine that the City Council will have a lot to say about that as well, and might propose additional consolidations or restructuring. So I am happy to speak with you today, look forward to our conversation, and enjoy my partnership with BizFed, which I definitely hope to build on and continue, and it's always a pleasure working with you. Thank you.